Hey there! If you've been following along, we've spent the last couple weeks breaking down the home buying process, talking through money saving tips, home shopping advice, and a whole lot more. As a realtor for over 20 years, I've had lots of experience walking clients through this process and want to pass along some things that I've learned. If you haven't watched from the beginning of this series, be sure to go back and watch part 1 and 2 first. I've linked both of those in the description below. In this third and final part of the home buying process, we're going to talk about what happens after you've found the home that you want to buy. How do you negotiate with the sellers? Do you need a home inspection? What should you do to the house before you move in? I'll answer all these questions and more in this video. All right, so let's get to it. So you've found your dream house and now you're ready to put an offer in. So what happens next? First of all, you craft an offer with your real estate agent. You may decide to write an offer that matches the seller's asking price, or you may choose to negotiate. The list price is only the asking price, not the final price. So depending on home values, nearby neighborhoods, the state of the current market you're in, as well as many other factors, your agent will recommend either offering asking price or maybe try to negotiate with the sellers a little bit. If your sellers are not willing to budge on listing price, there are lots of other options available to you. For example, your sellers might be convinced to cover some of your closing costs. They might provide additional stipends for repairs or maybe even leave you some furniture. Lots of things can be done there. So like I said, your ability to negotiate will depend largely on the state of the real estate market that's happening right now. For example, the rush during the pandemic created a huge surge of home buyer demand. It put a lot of negotiating power in the hands of sellers. That's what we call a seller's market. A few years ago, this aggressive seller's market may have meant that you were up against multiple offers. Rather than negotiating the seller down, in this situation, you as the buyer may have been conceding to make your offer more attractive. Today, right here in Greenville, South Carolina, we are still in a slight seller's market. Not nearly as aggressive as it was in recent years though. In some cases, sellers can still pick from multiple offers though. But in most cases right now, buyers and sellers will have more standard period of negotiation before going under contract. After you write your offer and it's accepted by the seller, you are under contract. This period lasts typically about 30 days in the Greenville market. It gives both parties an opportunity to get their finances in order, perform home inspections, and get question answers before committed to the sale and signing on the dotted line. Getting home inspection is one of the most important things that you need to do as a home buyer in this market. Home inspectors will look for problems around the home so you can make an informed decision about either moving forward, backing out of the sale, or negotiating with the seller. I just shared a video answering some of the most common questions about home inspections we see. So be sure to check that out if you have any other questions about this step of the home buying process. Finally, before closing, you have got to get home insurance. While technically not required, your lender definitely will require it, and it gives you and the lender protection in case of fire, flood, theft, or any other natural disaster. So make sure you get your home insurance covered. Before you close on your new home, you'll have the opportunity to walk through the house one final time. This typically happens the morning before your appointment to close at the attorney's office, and the seller will be completely moved out so you can see everything in the house. You want to use this time to assess repairs, make sure they were done correctly, and see if any additional work is needed. After you close, your home sellers are off the hook. So this is your last chance to make those requests. Here are a few of my personal tips to consider when walking through that home. 1, you want to read through the notes and reports from any previous inspections you had and make sure that all those repairs are done. Number 2, you want to make sure all appliances, plumbing, light fixtures, all that stuff is working properly. And then 3, if the seller has agreed to leave any of those things, you want to make sure that they're there. Check and double check. You just want to make sure everything is present and accounted for. Contractually, sellers are asked to leave the house broom clean. So that means a little dirt isn't a huge deal. But if there's a big mess or anything kind of left in the house that shouldn't be there, all that should be handled prior to going to closing. At the conclusion of all this, you'll meet with your new home sellers at the attorney's office to sign all the paperwork that your lender is going to require and get the keys to your new home. This meeting will typically be at an attorney's office in a big conference room. So be prepared with a cashier's check for any down payment that you need to bring to it, and also make sure you bring your driver's license. Finally, you need to be prepared to ask your sellers any of those last questions about the home, because once you sign, the home is officially yours. So in this video, we've talked about negotiating a contract, getting under contract, and working towards the closing table. After you close, all that's left to do is move in. So here are just a couple more tips to help that transition go smoothly. First, I would consider hiring a professional cleaner before you move in. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of the fact the house is completely clear and you can get a really good clean in, especially if contractors have been there to make repairs and there might be some dust. So this is a great opportunity. Walking into a clean slate on moving day is a huge difference in making your house feel like home. Second, I highly recommend you change all the locks on your doors. Get all that done, have it on one key, and it'll save you tons of time down the road. You don't know who's had previous keys to that house. This may seem like a small thing, but as a homeowner, home security is extremely important. Thank you so much for watching this series as we dive into the details of buying your very own home. If this series was helpful for you, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more real estate content like this. Finally, if you're interested in actually buying a home in the near future, I would love to help you. If you're looking in the Greenville area, I'd love to connect with you personally. Otherwise, you can just fill out my contact form linked below, and I'll get you in touch with a great agent in your area.